Hello, and welcome back to our series on positive affirmation mistakes. We're now on mistake number 4, and it's about expecting instant gratification. So if you've ever asked, why isn't this working? How come I can't see any changes? I must be doing it wrong. Oh, maybe they don't even work. This is what we're going to talk about in this mistake, expecting instant results. So if you haven't met me before, my name is Nick Grimshawe, and I'm a coach and a writer, a spiritual guide, and I focus on helping people interested in inner transformation to find their full potential, to rediscover it because it's already there within you. And I use very typical tools, but I use them in a different manner, and we teach on a gradient scale, which is really important for you learning how to move towards your ultimate spiritual journey. Today, my goal is to help you understand the power of positive affirmations if you use them correctly. This is the purpose of this whole series, and we're talking about the 5 main mistakes that people make when they start to use affirmations for the first time. Before I get going on to mistake number 4, I just want to recap what we've gone through before. So video 1 was using the future tense instead of the present tense. The power of positive affirmations come from using the present tense, and we go into why that is. Video 2, thinking you have to eliminate all negative beliefs. This is a common misconception for people who are starting out doing positive affirmations. They expect to do the impossible, which is to eliminate all negative thoughts. And that is self-defeating. The third one was saying positive affirmations without emotion, without feeling them. And we talk about why that emotion is so important, the elevated emotions that bring us what we're dreaming to live as, or to bring us to that ideal we want to live in our lives. Now, this is mistake number 4. It's instant gratification. And if you think about that, we live in a society that expects things to happen instantly. And if they don't, we get annoyed. Microwaves. How long have you thought the microwave is taking too long to heat your coffee? I mean, we get to that state of mind where we're ready to move on if a website doesn't load in less than 5 seconds. Like, think about where we are in the world today. But instant gratification or instant affirmations are not something that happens instantly. You're retraining your brain, and that takes time. It's not a pill, it's a practice. This happens because of our conditioning. We live in this society, as I mentioned before, where everything is done instantly. We get very impatient if something doesn't happen right away. We take a pill to stop a headache, and if that's not working, we pop another one, or now we're off to the doctor to find out why we can't stop our headache. Those sort of things. We expect things to happen quickly, and we get upset if it doesn't, or we automatically start thinking that it doesn't work. But our subconscious mind doesn't respond to our on-demand requests. We have been building negative affirmations for so long into our system. I'll get into that a little bit more in a minute, but we want to reverse history in a day. And depending on how old you are, that becomes more difficult because you've built up this energy of negativity, and now we want to reverse that. Oops, there we go. So what does science say about all of this? And it's really interesting because they talk about neural pathways and how we strengthen them as we repeat that pathway. And one of my examples of this is the ruts in the street. So I live near a very busy street here, and it's probably the busiest in the city where I live right now. And when you drive your car down the street, it's easier to stay in the ruts than to try and get your car out of the ruts, because you're bouncing back and forth, and it's a struggle because you're having to get up off the rut and try to stay out of it, and it's just easier to drive in the rut. And that is what we're talking about here. It's easier for us to stay in our negativity than to change it. So this is called neuroplasticity. And it means that we have the power to change our physical brain. This is new science. And before, we thought that the brain was set. There wasn't anything you can do about it. But with our modern technology, we can measure the actual physiological changes in your brain as you focus on a particular area. So for meditation, they've shown that that enlarges that area of the brain. You can tell for a dedicated person who meditates a lot that they've changed their actual physical brain structure. So this gives us immense hope. And it is the underlying basis of why doing positive affirmations work. So we're retraining our brain. But those old patterns are really powerful. And it's like, this is our speeding train here, and it's like trying to stop it and go, hey, stop. And the train's going to keep going for a while before it can ever stop. And that's the same with our negative affirmations. They'll keep on going. They'll be persistent and resistant and stubborn. And it takes consistent effort using positive affirmations. And it's a practice, a daily practice, that we use positive affirmations to change the way we think. We're going to move our negative mindset towards a positive one. And you've seen in past videos that we don't have to change all of our negative thoughts. We just need to get to the tipping balance. So we're thinking more positive or more positively than negatively. This is why it's important, because this is how you fix it. You repeat your affirmations daily. Even if it seems pointless at first, change comes slowly. It's like going to the gym. And you're starting out and you want to create more muscle mass, and so you're lifting weights and so on, and you come home the first day, you don't see any change. And so you go off to the gym the next day and you come back and you look in the mirror and you see no change. And that goes on for quite a while before you start to see the muscle building in your arms or the flattening of your tummy, whatever it is you're working on. It doesn't happen instantly, but most people who buy gym memberships stop after 2 or 3 weeks because they haven't got to the point where they see results. So think of your positive affirmations as that weightlifting process and know that it's going to take time before that shift in your mindset begins to set in. And so small actions like just reading 2 or 3 positive affirmations a day, 3 times a day is what we recommend. And as you develop a trust in the process, then you'll start seeing the magic happen. And quite often that happens in the absence of something that was there before. And what I mean by that, you'll be going along doing something, and all of a sudden you'll realize, I would have acted in anger before, and now I'm taking this all very calmly because you've been working on affirmations to stay calm, to take that breath, to be more relaxed, to be more in the moment. That is how positive affirmations work, and you have to give them the time to work. And it's really the core reason why people think positive affirmations don't work, because they don't stick with them long enough to see the change. Part of the process then is to change or reframe our expectation. And that's important, that you're not taking a pill that's going to work today or tomorrow. We're working on long-term change, and we have to look at what this is doing is for our long-term health and good. So you stop smoking, but the result of that stopping smoking, you don't see, you don't really comprehend the long-term effects of not smoking. And if you're smoking, you don't see for years the horrible things it's doing inside your body. So we want to change that. Why isn't it working? Expectation to what can I do to reinforce this today? And that's saying your positive affirmations. Trust that change will happen. Here's Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's very outspoken, very scientific in his thinking about change and how we change ourselves and how we need to break the habit of being yourself. It's a habit. And that's what negative thinking is. So he says to change is to think greater than your environment. In this case, your environment is your negative thinking, your negative thoughts, your negative affirmations, because affirmations can be neutral, positive, or negative. I want you to really get that. You get this mix. And now what you want to do is to think greater than your negative mindset. And how do you do that? Your affirmations create the change that helps you think greater than your negative mindset and moves you towards that positive mindset. It's really, really awesome, the power of what these thoughts can do for you and the change that it can bring. And I'm really a living testimony, believe me, for using positive affirmations. They have totally, completely changed the way I was I've been using them for 20 years now, so there we go. And it's changed my whole personality. And if you could see me 20 years ago and you see me now, you will know for sure that positive affirmations work. Excuse me. Okay, we got it. In our next episode, we're going to come up with the next final mistake number 5, and that's unrealistic or vague positive affirmations. I believe a positive affirmation must follow a gradient. It can't go too far beyond your belief level before it creates, instead of creating the retraining of your brain, you get your brain arguing with you instead. It resists. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and make sure, here we go, that you subscribe, like, comment, share. Do all of those things. It really helps us. But by subscribing, you'll get notification of our next video, and the next one will be our mistakes number 5 video. So pay attention for that. But also, if you like this video, please share it. Please leave us a comment. We'd like to know how you felt about the information that you received in this video. And it ultimately helps us reach a larger audience. So this has been a beautiful summer morning's video presentation. I sincerely thank you for listening, for being here, and hopefully for sharing the video out. Nick Grimshawe, remember to dream big, live inspired.